my name is Manulang. I'm a student of English Training and Education. Today I want to present my presentation, my material. The topic is problem and activity in listening in EFL classroom, from tradition to a more comprehensible input. Okay. Before I go to the topic, I will tell you what is the meaning of listening. Yeah, listening is one of the most important language skill. Listening is the part in communication. Through listening, we can share our ideas with other people or our students. Listening is the most frequently used language skill in everyday life. Yeah. Brown say listening is major component in language learning and teaching, because in the classroom learners do more listening than speaking. It means listening is the most important thing in daily life. Through listening we can interpret the meaning. By Rivers in Hayuni, she said that listening is a creative skill. It means we compare the sound falling in our ears and take the raw material of word, arrangement of word, and the rest and the fall the voice. And from this material, we create significance. Yeah, listener must cope with the standard choice of vocabulary, structure, and rate of the delivery. Russell in Hayuni, she says that listening activity need integrating skill of language, such as pronunciation, vocabulary, mastery, writing, speaking, and reading. Listening can be meant as ability to pay attention or to hear something. But listening is not the same like hearing. While the listening, the brain does not automatically translate the word into the message they are copying. There is essential word listening is determine the meaning and the passage of the sound of word. It is active process that involves much more than assigning labels to sound or word. So we can say, in your opinion, we can say that listening is the ability to identify and understand what others are saying. It's also a complex activity, and we can help students compare what they hear by activating their pure knowledge. And listening is the active process, because listening is not just a matter of hearing. Listening includes many processes. Listening determining the meaning and the message of the sound by you from the others. Okay. Next is some difficult when we learn about listening. There are certainly some difficult in listening. The first is the people cannot communicate face to face unless the two types of skill, is like listening or speaking, are developed in tandem. Rehearsed production is used in the interlocutors are unable to respond to the reply generated from our interlocutor. Okay, the second problem is that under many circumstances, listening is a reciprocal skill. People cannot practice listening in the same way as they can rehearse speaking or at least the part of speaking that has to do with conversation or pronunciation, because the listener cannot predict the communication. The third problem, connect with the second one, is comprehension of what they are listening to, as English has become a worldwide language, and there are millions of people learning and speaking it. The mainly learning problem is they cannot understand what they are listening. Next is the learners or the students have to must and have to develop other skills to some degree, but English teacher recognize the listening in the major skill, enabling the learner to use their other skill. Listener is able to predict the topic, tries to grasp unknown words or utterance from the context, use her or his knowledge of the word, find the main idea by deleting and adding the utterance around the main idea under the light of research methods. Okay, next. Okay, still in listening problem, but we talk about listening problem on school. Okay, the problem of student, how to they do listening. Identify the learner's problem and solution as a follow. So this is the problem and the solution. The first is trouble with the sound. The student must trouble with the sound on listening. Most students rely mostly on context for comprehension. They are often themselves unaware sound perception. Second, have understand very word. Some students feel worry and stress when they miss some word of the text. Here, we as a teacher need to give the students practice in selective ignoring of her information or something they do naturally in their mother tongue. The teachers should explain this point to the students and set them occasional tasks that ask them to. C is cannot understand fast, naturally native speaker. The students can only understand if the teacher talks slowly and clearly. They cannot understand fast, natural native sounding speech. To overcome this problem, the teacher has to expose the student to as much spontaneous informal informal tasks as possible. Okay, so they can understand the native speech more easily. The teacher can also provide them with the sort of research at the right level for them or for the students. Okay. The fourth is need to hear things more than once in order to understand. Students need more than once to hear the text. Okay, in the problem, the teacher can try to use text that include redundant. What is redundant? Is a pages and within which the essential information is presented more than once and not too intensive, and give the students that opportunity to request clarification or repetition during their listening. E is find difficult to keep up. Next is find difficult to keep up. Most students feel overloaded with incoming information. The solution is not so much but they can to slow down the research, but rather to encourage them to relax, stop trying to understand everything, learn to pick up what is essential, and allow them to ignore the rest or what they are false. Okay, next is get tired. uh, Students feel tired and bored to listen. Yeah, sometimes if the research is too long, they also feel more difficult to concentrate. The solution is the problem is similar with the third problem. Yeah, if they are tired, so just give them a rest, take a break, so they next time they will more focus to do the listening. Okay, the students need practice in hearing and saying the sounds of isolated words as they are identically pronounced by a native speaker. Without of isolated word, as they are ideally pronounced by a native speaker, without the distortions or blues which commonly occur with the content of the natural speech. The exercise types choose early level pupils can give a repetition which they are only expect to repeat what they are here. Asking if what they are here in English is not and decide if they hear the sound of different utterance. Okay, next is there are 4 types meaning-based activity. Divide the comprehension exercise into different purpose-based activity in listening comprehension. They are first is listening and making to respond. Second is listening and making short response. Third, listening and making long response. Fourth is listening as a basis for study and discussion. Okay, we are go to the conclusion of my presentation. So yeah, let's hear. All of these listening tasks are given here to suggest to both learner and the teacher more alternative technique which may change the current curriculum. It is important here to apply their tasks as the appropriate level with the appropriate students. The instructor has also an important role in planning and knowing the tasks, because the wrong type of exercise may discourage the learner. EFL classroom need more practice than theory. As stated by Crescent say, only comprehensible input is necessary and makes sense in the purpose of language education is to make learners acquire the kind of language that they need to express themselves. So, by employing the comprehensible syllabus for student, education can serve to the purpose. Okay, that's all. That's all I want you to know. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about my voice.